Hi, I'm a lore guy. I've been analyzing Pokemon lore and origins for over a decade now, and when Pokemon Sleep came out, I thought nothing of it. I was just, it's a sleep tracking app, but with Pokemon in it to sort of gamify it, the same way Pokemon Smile gamified brushing your teeth. It's cute, but not something I'd ever really bother doing. And never thought about again until Pokemon Sleep's Championships a few years back. Is that a joke? But then, just out of curiosity, my wife decided to try it out, and we discovered there's actually lore in there. There's details about Pokemon that Pokemon Sleep uncovers. Yes, that was a bed pun, sorry. So basically, with each Pokemon in Pokemon Sleep, there is also a new Sleep-style Dex entry, and a lot of those don't really add much of anything. Like, at most it tells us how the Pokemon sleeps, but even then it's just mostly stuff that makes sense. Poor Psyduck has a headache even when it sleeps. The Bulbasaur line like to sleep in the sun because they're plants and photosynthesis, wow. But sometimes the additional details are all new. Like we knew, obviously, that Rattata's teeth never stop growing, but now we know that it maintains them by grinding its teeth while sleeping, a condition called bruxism, which, if left untreated in humans, leads to very small, ground-down teeth later in life. Good thing rodent teeth keep growing. Jigglypuff sometimes sings in its sleep, which can put others around it asleep too, which is pretty funny to think about. Diglett mostly sleeps underground, but sometimes it will fall asleep above ground, and seeing one like this is said to bring good luck. Mankey and Primeape are known for their never-ending rage, which most of the time persists even through sleeping. But it turns out, on rare occasions, you can find one at peace while dozing off. I wonder what it's dreaming about. Mankey should have been using sleep buds from today's sponsor, Ozlo, because these are the first tiny Bluetooth earbuds specifically designed with sleep in mind. Even side sleepers with 4 differently sized ears can agree that they are ultra comfy and secure. Like, I barely feel this. It is impressively soft and low profile, and they not only block out sleep disrupting sounds, but replace them with any soothing sounds you'd like. Even by default, not even connected to a phone yet, they use their onboard memory to play a set sound. By default, it's a soothing ocean landscape. Yeah, it's nice. I particularly like how it senses your biometrics too. Think like Pokemon Sleep, but in your ear so it can tell different things, including when you're asleep, so it can then switch from streaming sounds to just blocking out sleep-disrupting sounds. I like how the app can give you a personalized sleep report the next morning too, telling you how you did, which can help you narrow down exactly what gets you the deepest and most restful sleep. Which you really should know. I always had a hunch that colder air helped me sleep better, but I've now since confirmed it. I'm a window open in winter kind of guy. So there is a link in the description and a QR code here to check them out. Big thanks to Ozlo for their support, and good night. I always forget that Arcanine has an all-black belly, but sometimes it sleeps like this to remind you. Golem and Graveler like to rock themselves to sleep. I'll go ahead and read Slowpoke's Dex entry verbatim. This Pokemon is always idle, so it's hard to tell if it's awake or asleep. Even researchers are divided on whether Slowpoke sleeps, but Slowpoke doesn't seem bothered either way. Mood. Maybe Slowpoke sleeps the way a lot of marine mammals do. One hemisphere of the brain sleeps at a time while the other is awake and aware, watching for predators. Marowak can sleep while using its bone as a pillow or even as a cute little teddy bear. So versatile. And Mr. Mime is a master of pantomime. No one can tell if it's miming being asleep or if it's actually asleep and pantomiming in its dreams. Did you know that Pinsir buries itself to sleep on especially cold nights? Real stag beetles are known to do this too, but it's funny thinking about such a huge guy doing it. I can imagine a poor city park landscaper having to fill in holes every morning if it was cold the night before. Just Flowers often bloom around a sleeping Meganium, and because its scent soothes and calms the emotions of others, I'd imagine it's rarely awakened by others. In fact, other Pokemon will often join it in a cuddle puddle. It is said that when Typhlosion tosses and turns in its sleep, its fur rubs together and occasionally produces blasts of fire. Imagine sleeping while holding a match to the striker on a matchbox. One wrong twitch and oof! Totodile is known to close one eye and rest half of its brain at a time, a practice called unihemispheric sleep. And yep, just like many marine mammals, saltwater crocodiles crocodiles do that too. One eye open to stay on the lookout for prey and danger, and it can easily awaken the other half of its brain should something come up. Actually, we see Fuecoco doing the same thing, because crocodile. So Umbreon is supposed to be like as nocturnal as Pokemon could be, but it turns out they do occasionally sleep at night too, the same way we would nap. It's said that when Raikou sleeps deeply, you can hear a rumbling like distant thunder in its breath. Or it's pneumonia. While sleeping, Celio puts its super sensitive whiskers on the ground in order to feel vibrations in the ground, so it can know if someone is approaching. This is the deep Celio lore we've been asking for! Finally! On rare occasions, Mime Jr. has been found sleeping atop a pantomimed bed. It's just floating there, as if there were a bed, because it's pantomiming there being a bed there. Like, I know this line is able to make invisible walls be, like, actually there via pantomiming and vibrating molecules magically, but the implication that it's just that good of a mime that it can float because it's pretending there's a bed there is hilarious. As is Krogunk, sometimes scaring itself awake because it accidentally inflates its poison sac. Then it grows out of that as a Toxicroak, and it uses its poison sac inflated like a pillow. Glaceon completely freezes its fur, making its hairs stand out like needles, so that way it's protected from enemies even while it sleeps. The poor Snorlax it sleeps on occasionally. Free gut acupuncture though. So, interesting thing about Snover here. It grows berries with the texture of frozen treats around its belly when spring approaches. Even if other Pokemon sneak up and eat berries while it sleeps, Snover doesn't seem to notice, though. But look at them there. Weird. So to my knowledge, this is the first time this aspect of him has actually been shown in-game. Though it has been touched on in the anime, but the closest the games get is having these Mon hold Rost berries after you catch them. But lots of wild Pokemon carry berries, so you'd almost think nothing of it. But cool, what do you think they taste like? I'm hoping vanilla and existentialism. Did you know that Dedenne uses its antenna-like tail to absorb electricity from other Pokemon, and then sometimes in its sleep it sucks on the end of its tail like a little kid sucking on their thumb? What a cutie. If you see a Comfey asleep and smiling with a flower close to its face, it may have just found that flower, and it has the perfect scent to help it fall asleep comfortably. Aromatherapy helps a lot of folks fall asleep, actually. Pleasant smells. Tends to relax your weary bones. So Stuffle isn't just a red panda Pokemon, it's specifically based on a plush of a red panda. And like how people sleep with plushies and body pillows, Stuffle sleeps with a small log. Beware does too, but it smashes them to bits, typically. So Cramorant sometimes falls asleep with prey still stuck in its mouth, and like, is the Pikachu okay? It doesn't look like it's trying to get out. Has it suffocated? Ah, jeez. Meowscarada very occasionally attempts to perform magic while it sleeps, but the performance never goes as planned. The little Firebird on Skeledirge sometimes likes to play pranks on poor Skeledirge while it's sleeping. Maybe like a kid playing a prank on their exhausted mom who's just so tired because of the kid's shenanigans. But at least, Skeledirge is an excellent caretaker and never gets angry no matter what's done to it. It just keeps sleeping. The ever-draining burden of parenting. Also, easily the biggest and most important bit of lore this game gives us. Quaxley and Quaxwell, bedheads confirmed. Only the deepest lore is found here, folks. Hey, thanks for watching, even though you probably should be sleeping right now. Yeah? Or soon? It's always soon. Bedtime is just around the corner, and I feel like the older I get, the sooner and sooner it becomes.